Have you been thinking about crating your dog, but you've been told that that's mean and cruel? Well, I'm training with MKE German Shepherds, and I hope to shed some light on why that's just simply an untruth. I'm a big proponent of crate training. I think that it provides them stability, structure, and most of all, safety. When you own a dog, you're in it for the long haul. German Shepherds typically live between 9 and 12 years. So you want to make sure that these guys are going to be nice and comfortable, and your family's going to be nice and comfortable as well. So it's kind of a win-win when they're crate trained. Touching on, it helps them with potty training. It gives them encouragement to hold their pee and poo until they're outside. It gives them a stable routine and it creates structure, right? The biggest thing for me is order, especially when you have multiple dogs and multiple kids, because you got to get them on a routine so that you are not pulling your hair out. Putting them in a crate. Cairo, go home. Go in your crate. For her to be able to do that, come on, go back to place. That's very important. You see, she didn't look sad, and she's actually up and ready to go because we haven't gone on our morning walk. But that's necessary for them. Go to your room. Okay, free. We teach this to all of our dogs, place, and puppies because if ever you had a contractor, I don't typically put my dogs up when I have visitors, so I'll just say a contractor. We do have people that come in and they work on the house or they work on the yard, and they need to be able to go inside of their crate and feel comfortable. Carol, go to your room. And you can see how happy she is. Place. Because we do use this as a training tool. Good girl. Good girl. You can get your bones. Go ahead. So they should be able to go in their room with no issues. You want to train that in them when they're little because once they get bigger, obviously they get louder and they can tear those. We use the wire crates. I haven't had an issue with them trying to escape, but one of my dogs does like to bite on them, and he's been doing that since he was a puppy. So you want to make sure that when they get in there, they're not going to bite that wire and or paw it to where they're going to injure themselves. So it's always a good idea to train them when they're young because you never know if there's going to be an emergency. You never know if you're going to drop them off at the vet. Maybe they have to stay overnight, or maybe they just have to wait their turn at the groomer, or you got to dry them off, or any of these scenarios. They should be able to go into a crate. But the biggest thing that you want to focus on is keeping them safe. Cairo here just turned 3 in December, and she's had free reign at the house for about a year, but she has developed a very nasty habit where she likes to go into the garbages. And she's been eating things she has no business eating. So we were able to avoid a vet visit, but she got into some cooked chicken bones. She got into some cheesecake. What else? Some diapers. All of those things could be toxic for dogs. Thank heaven she's fine. She's got an ironclad stomach. But I can't say the same thing about my other dogs. So to correct her behavior when we leave, if I can't see her, I've been putting her up in her crate. Carol, go to your room. Okay, come on. And it's simply to keep her safe. And are we going to train? Absolutely. Are we going to correct this behavior? Absolutely. But until then, until we can get that corrected, she has to be somewhere where she is not going to hurt herself. You're right, Cairo. So don't feel bad if you have to crate your animal. It's a necessary tool. Good girl. And now you just want loving. Okay, go. Go to place. So don't feel bad if you have to crate your dog. You should feel actually real proud of yourself. Like it's not easy to do stuff that's always best for them because it kind of feels bad that we're putting them in something that looks like a jail cell, right? But guess what? It's either that little crate or it could mean death. So you really should pick. You really want to do what's best for the animal. That's what it all boils down to. Go to place. Cairo place. Doing what's best for your pet is always going to trump what people want to say outside. Do what works for you. Do what's going to work for your dog. I have 3 dogs, and I can tell you that my boys are less hyper than she is. One boy has to be crated some of the time, especially when we have a specific company over, and that's okay because he was trained to be a guard dog. He really doesn't like strangers. And my other guy, he's just a chill guy. He could have been out of his crate since he was about 5 months. Blitz doesn't get into anything. If you're interested in seeing Mr. Blitz, you can check out some of our other videos. He is actually her son and my other dog's son. And he's the most well behaved. But that just goes to show you that you can have multiple dogs and they all have different personalities and they all have different requirements. And that's okay. I want you to understand that that's not your fault, and it's actually a good thing that you can recognize that in them. Does she need to be crated to keep herself safe? Absolutely. Can Blitz have free roam of the house and he's 2 years younger than her? Yes. And that's fine. You know, I can't put undue pressure on her and say, oh, you know what, it's not a good idea to keep her in a crate while I'm at work for 8 hours. Well, the alternative to that could easily be her hurting herself, and I would never ever want to walk into my home and find my dog hurt, injured, or dead because I was having some personal feelings about locking her up. So I always say, do what's best for you, do what's best for your dogs, love them, and treat them fair.